It's super fast, super easy. You can verify the bite and the midline and all these wonderful landmarks. But then unfortunately, you can't see the CEJ, the difference between the gum and the teeth. And so when a doctor or a patient is new to digital workflow, this may cause some friction. And we think we can solve this problem in about 5 minutes of time. So that's going to be exciting today. Joe, are we live on Facebook yet? I don't see it.
We are live on Facebook, yes.
Amazing. All right. I just don't see it on my Facebook feed. Maybe I'm in the wrong place, but that's okay.
I can send
Thanks,
you.
every. Oh, here we go. I got my Facebook app up. All right, I see us. Perfect. All right, again, thanks everyone for joining. We're going to talk about EasyGum fundamentals today. Applying EasyGum to a printed or milled denture try-in, super fast, super easy, a really nice and quick and easy workflow in the lab. Shauna's going to go through her tools and tips and tricks. It's basically turning this all white monolithic denture try-in into this on the right, which has a half a strip. So you can at least, the doctor and the patient can see the gingival margin and kind of where the teeth are at. Cutting a strip in half and applying this to a milled or printed try-in should only take about 5 minutes. Super fast, super easy. We'll cover this and really exciting. During this webinar today, so if you want to buy an EasyGum trial kit, you can buy it now, buy it through the webinar, buy it before the deadline, which is 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Buy an EasyGum trial kit, and we'll give you 4 strips of original pink included, just to give you some more material there to play with, practice with, try with on a few of your cases. We are here every week on Thursdays, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. Next week will be level 2, EasyGum, talking about implant provisionals, a little bit more elevated aesthetics, putting intense modifiers under the strip, on top of the strip, fun stuff with that. And then level 3 will be in 2 weeks, covering EasyGum on zirconia, which I think is super exciting. Some technicians have their own opinions about this, but we're hoping to kind of unlock the way you think and look at the world and look at pink composite EasyGum and how it is made in a different way. The particle sizes are smaller. It polishes really amazing. The bonding agent that we use, that we've made, gives it a 22 megapascal bond strength from the EasyGum to the zirconia. So it's absolutely indicated for long-term use. So again, today, level 1 denture prototype should be about 5 minutes. Next week, implant provisionals. Week after that, nano zirconia on hybrids. Sorry, EasyGum on hybrids. And then we have a bonus week. Haven't quite decided yet what our bonus topic is going to be in 3 weeks. So if anyone's out there, whether on Facebook or on Zoom, you want to suggest what should Shauna and Joe and I cover during bonus week, give us some ideas. Maybe we'll follow your lead. I don't know. It could be a little bit of a choose your own adventure. All right, Shauna, talk to us about your essential tools. These are the tools you'll use for today, showing this half strip on a printed or milled try-in.
Yeah,
What are the 4 tools?
these are my go-to tools, I think, for everything. So what I have is the Explorer. I like to use a disposable paintbrush because overusing like a micro brush to place the bond, because I can stretch it out a little further and a little thinner. It's a little easier, but I feel like the sponge on the micro brush kind of picks it up and puts it down in puddles. So I use that to really kind of spread that out. But I also use the brush to pull the intense modifiers into place and kind of paint with that. The papilla tool and the silicone tips have been pretty much my essentials for any kind of prosthetic that I'm using to shape it and get it on there.
Awesome. Can't wait to see that more today. So here we have upper and lower try-in. Can't see any pink. This might cause some friction. So we're going to add a half a strip in 5 minutes. Just want to walk through few slides really quick. Apply the bonding agent. Obviously, if the try-in's only going in for a couple days, you could skip the bonding agent. EasyGum is indicated to always use the bonding agent. But if it's like a 1 day, 2 day temp, you don't have to do this. But of course, we indicate EasyGum with our light cured bonding agent. Then you have the arch here, apply half a strip, press it down, manage your thickness and opacity. Shauna will talk about that. Use the papilla cutter, trim away what you don't want, and then shape it with the silicone tip tools. And then when we're done, we'll talk a little bit about your polishing workflow, some of the tools used for polishing. And here's what it should look like. And Shauna, this is my cue for me to stop talking and stop going through PowerPoint and instead go to the exciting stuff, which is your hands-on workflow.
I think, yeah, well, I want to mix it up a little bit. Can anybody, I'd say let's time it. So do you, either
Ooh,
one of you have like a stopwatch? I think I should
heck
time
yeah.
it today. Let's
Let's
see
freaking do
exactly
that.
how long it takes me. So if we're in the situation, we're chair side, and maybe this is in the doctor's hands. That's perfect. Yes. So maybe this is in the doctor's hands. You know, we've sent out the printed try-in. They have these strips and they're going to choose the shade and actually talk to the patient about, you know, what they prefer. So either a doctor or assistant could actually sit and apply this and have it in the patient's mouth, cure it. Everything looks great. They send it to the lab. So now the lab has like a physical shade that they can kind of base everything off of, which, you know,
Amazing.
coming from my perspective, from, you know, both sides, I'm like, that's genius. You know, they've literally picked the shade
So
for
this
this.
is
So there's
a
no
speed
guesswork.
test.
Yeah,
You're
so this
doing
is
a
going to be a
speed
speed
test.
test. So
I
I'm going to
love it.
switch over and let me get, I'm not going to put any bond on. I'm just going to put the strip. I want to see how long it takes. Let's see. I'm going to switch. Okay.
All right,
All
tell me
right.
when you want me to hit go.
Okay. So, I mean, it's not even
Ready?
open yet. So it's just sitting here. Let me put my tools close by.
Okay.
Hold on. Do I have everything? Okay. All right. I'm good. And go.
Go. Here we go. Stopwatch is going.
So I'm
Well,
going to line
now
it
I'm
up.
afraid to talk to Shauna because I don't want to slow her down. So, Joe, maybe you'll have to small talk with me while she's working.
I'm totally down for that. I was just trying to engage the Facebook crew and the folks here on Zoom by asking who's going to be at Lab Day West next month.
Yes.
Yes.
Lab Day West is coming up.
EasyGum is a big part of what we do out there. So if anybody, Brenda, Daniel, David, any of you guys out there in the audience are going to be at Lab Day West, let us know what you're looking forward to. What are you looking forward to, Rob, out in Lab Day?
You know, it's always fun to just see familiar faces. You know, I don't travel a ton and I love seeing my friends in the dental world. So people get out of the lab and they come to LMT West, and Harvest will be giving a lecture there. Sean and I will be talking and showcasing the EasyGum on the Harvest Nano Zirconia and how you can use a polish workflow for both the zirconia itself and the EasyGum, which we think is interesting. You know, a highly polished surface is really kind to the opposing dentition, like a zirconia surface that's polished. Gordon Christensen's done articles on this. That there's a lot of data on this in the marketplace around the benefits of polishing. So we're going to talk about polished zirconia, talking about EasyGum, polishing EasyGum, skipping the light cured glaze, which will be fun. Kind of, you know, charting some new territory, new path there.
I'm really excited about that too.
All right, so Shauna, you're already into curing. So
I
you're
am.
this is assuming you're just doing the front six, I assume, right?
Yeah, actually this I did a strip, so it's reaching back a little further. This is a bigger denture. But yeah, getting it on there. Using the papilla tool. I'm curing for 20 seconds. I'm using a handheld light like I always do because I like the wavelength and the intensity from it. I just get a better cure from the handheld.
Shauna, you're at 2 minutes and 35 seconds.
Are you serious? That's
Taking
cool.
forever.
So this is my, I know this is it's so long. So now I'm cured. Um, yeah, I could have spent a couple extra minutes, but basically I'm just going to get this in the mouth. We're going to mark the midline. We're checking the shade of the teeth. We're checking the shade of the tissue. The bite's good. We're going to take a bite, send everything back. You could even use this as a light body wash, just to do one more pickup, to make sure that you're capturing all the things that you need. So yeah, I mean, 2 minutes, chair side. And if you wanted to, we can do a quick polish. My
Yeah, show us
oh,
show us the polishing workflow on this. We're at 3 minutes and 18 seconds.
cool. So the polishing technique is I'm going to use the bristle brush, the felt wheel, and the puff, and the harvest speed polish. So I'm going to use the bristle brush first with the speed polish. And I'll do like half and half so we can see. And I'm going to use like a medium to heavy pressure on the resin.
We did a webinar a couple months ago with Matt, Kayla, and Darren, and each of them applied a half a strip on a denture like this, and it was about 3 to 4 minutes on average. It's very fast, very easy. It's the applying the strip, squishing it into place, getting it where you want it, scraping away, and revealing those teeth, and then you're done. All right, so you got the felt wheel here.
Yeah, felt wheel going over medium pressure. You're starting to see that shine kind of pop in. And last one I'm going to use is this cotton puff. Nothing on it. Whatever's still on there, I'll just buff it out. Go over the teeth.
Wow, it's getting real shiny real quick.
I know. So, yeah. What are we at now?
5 minutes and 5 seconds. So, if you're just doing the front 6 anteriors, I think you guys can see here a really fast and easy workflow. You could get that done in 2 to 3 minutes. You could polish it in another 2 to 3 minutes, achieving a quick pink result that's applied and polished in 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes is very, very achievable. Very
And
achievable.
and even still, if you wanted to adjust a little bit and you're like, well, I just didn't get it the way I wanted it, come back with that little cross-hatch pear-shaped um, acrylic burr,
Nice.
and you can shape it and then just buff that out.
Shauna, talk to us about the absence of a oxygen inhibition layer here, right? It's cure
Yep.
polish. There's no cover gel, nothing like that.
So once we cure, it's cured. There's no covering, there's no putting it in a box, there's no 10 minutes, there's no waiting for anything. So this resin behaves very much like clinical resin. And when I say that, I mean like the resin that we were using in fillings. So once it's cured, it's cured. It's ready to polish. There's nothing to wipe off. Now the flowables, which we have the intense modifiers and the pink modifiers, they will have a little bit of a sticky, tacky layer behind them, but that does polish out quickly. I don't wipe it off because I layer my modifiers underneath of my strip. There we go. So quick, easy, try and denture in just a couple minutes.
That is amazing. Love to get any questions or comments from the audience. I think you have a few more things to show us and chat about.
Yeah. So
You were
like
you were go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like I was saying before, with the intense modifiers and the pink modifiers, I layer them underneath of the strips to kind of like shine through, kind of like veins or like blood colors and the purples and the reds. That all kind of like shines through the tissue. So I do layer them underneath of these strips to kind of give me this effect. And both of these are just hand polished. This is a printed try-on material
That one
with
right there in your
modifiers.
hand, there's no
Yep.
glaze on that?
There's not one speck of glaze on it. So these try-on,
Wow.
yeah, they shine up really pretty. But then you can
And
see like the purples and the reds and the oranges kind of popping through underneath the
what's
pink.
the substrate in the teeth of that one? What is that? What material?
This one is this is a try-on material printed.
Printed try-on. Awesome.
This one is zirconia. So this has 0 glaze on it. Trying to keep the light off of it. So this too, I have the modifiers popping through from underneath of the strip. And if I wanted to, I do sometimes actually go back over and create some colors or some texture on top of it. But that's just for some details. So those are those two. And then I've been working at, so bear with me, guys. I know I have a lot of my denture friends out there. Has not really been my thing, but I was really trying to find a good workflow for just the printed denture. Kind of finding a way to just kind of elevate it a little bit because when we do print, it's very flat, kind of boring. We could throw some glaze on it, but it's, still not really giving it any kind of 3D effect. So I do, and I have kind of found a workflow that really works well. And I can kind of briefly touch on that and talk about how I layer those in. And the majority of it is going to be the intense modifiers. My favorite go-tos are, of course, the bright red, the plum, the dark violet, and I have been kind of playing around with the root. And the root kind of is a opaque kind of pink cream color. Which I have not put on here as of yet, but I will go through and show you how I layered in these modifiers just to bring this printed denture kind of to life. And we're going to use a little bit of the bond. And I'm going to use that disposable paintbrush versus a micro brush, but a micro brush can work too. You'll just have to make sure that you're thinning it out all the way across. So starting at one end, I'm going to start painting, and then I'm going to stretch that bond out as far as I can get it to go before reapplying. Making sure that I'm getting down here in between the teeth on the papillas. How much time did we end up with the strip? The
It was like
polish?
5 minutes. 5 minutes and change.
Oh, that's awesome.
You did apply either, was that a whole strip or most
Yeah,
of
it
a
was a whole
strip?
strip. Yeah.
It was the whole strip. Next time we'll do a half strip workflow because I think you could probably do that in under 5 minutes.
So I'm going to go back where I started. I'm going to go one more time. You want to get 2 super thin coats. Just stretch it out.
Anyone here, if you guys have any questions, Jim, David, Daniel, Brenda, Atsushi, thanks for being here. Drop in a question in the Zoom Q&A. I would love to hear from you if you have any questions. If we went too fast and we need to cover anything in the strip application, let us know. We've got time.
So I'm going to
It's
cure.
important.
Oop, go ahead.
I was just going to call out, it's important to know that for the bonding agent, if you look at the indication for use with the product, it's on our website, our support center, the EasyGum product page. You can find a link to it. It is required to use a handheld light that has a higher nanometer wavelength. So that's what Sean is using here. It's the woodpecker. Again, 20 seconds per 2 or 3 teeth. That is required for the bonding agent, but for the modifiers and the strips, you can use an LED cure box.
It looks
That's the
like
longest.
we have a comment from Jim. He's been using for a while, loves it. It's about time someone did this. Thank you, Jim. And Daniel also with a comment. Great product, guys. Love this. Thank you, Daniel. We love it as well.
Well, thanks, Jim and Daniel. Love the positive feedback. If you want to drop in a tip or a trick, maybe if you're using any other tools that, all right, Jim's going to be writing an article. I can't wait to read that one, Jim, but love to see your workflow. And my guess is you may or may not be using some other tools that Shauna's using. A lot of technicians very inventive when it comes to their own workflow and their own tool set. So we'd love to learn more from you guys as well.
Jim, I also work on the marketing side for Harvest. So when you have that article published, feel free to link us on it. We'd love to kind of repost on our social media and give you some credit.
I know I love seeing like all the different tools, especially when we do demos. They hit like online and everyone has like their own thing. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Okay.
Jim, I'd
So
love
after, oops, go ahead.
hold on. I'm gonna ask Jim a question because uh he's Jim, you said you've been using it a while. I'd love to know what prosthetic applications are you using it for? And any tips on that? So are you using it for like denture trines? Are you using it for like implant provisionals? Let us know how you're using it. That'd be great. Someone just asked about the GC Labo Light Duo. Yes, you can use the GC Labo Light. Just follow the time guidelines in the IFU support article. Joe, can you drop that URL for the EasyGum IFU into the Zoom here so people can click on that and go see it?
Yep, I'll go dig it out. And it looks like Jim says he loves the ball for intensives.
Try-ins and all on X. Love it. Love it.
So I just placed the bright red. I'm going to come back with a little bit of the plum. What I was going to say before, after you have cured, the texture, the bond should be shiny but solid. Like you should not have any tackiness when you touch it. If you're getting any tackiness after curing the bond, couple of things. Either it's not curing, so it should be shiny and basically not sticky at all. So you need to check to see with the distance, the intensity of your light could be one thing. And I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the dark violet.
Jim also uses the Duo for curing.
Nice. Joe, I just sent you a text message. Will you check that real quick? In case anyone joined us late, we are showing the EasyGum modifiers onto a pink printed denture. It's a little bit of a bonus topic that Shauna's throwing in to just show some of the other use of the modifier system and then how well it polishes.
Yeah, this works really well for just to kind of elevate a printed denture.
Yeah, if someone's wearing like an immediate denture they're going to wear around for, a month or two, maybe you want to elevate it a little bit, give them something a little nicer aesthetically.
And I do use the strip, but I don't put the strip directly on. I cut it into triangles to create like a gingival roll or margin. Yeah. And I kind of cut some up beforehand.
Oh, look at
And
you.
I
You got
know.
your little pizza slices there.
Little pizza slices. So I will use a plastic, I mean, anything just to pick it up and put it on the denture itself. I don't use this to push it in, but it is kind of helpful to pick it up with this. So triangles up. Let's put this one here. Press it in with my finger. Now I do like to use this tool, the Aviclar tool that they have like little replaceable pads. I do really like this to shape and get this into place. I just like the size of it because the denture space is a lot bigger than the hybrid. But and I can press and then pull. It thins that out. The nice thing about with EasyGum is I struggled for a while with using composites. I felt like when I placed it, I was chasing it. So I would get it really pretty, all shaped up, and then I felt like minutes later I was like having to go back and put it back in place and go back and put it in place. My favorite thing about this material is that when I place it, it's there. It's not moving. You can also use your silicone tips. You can dip it just a little bit in the bond, just so it kind of slides up underneath of it. This one really helps with shaping too. But I'll go ahead and cure this. Perfect. And you can see here that we're already starting to kind of get that. It's a little bit more dramatic than the other side. I'm going to pick up one more, a little bit smaller. Yeah, this tool has a comes with like smaller pads. I kind of like the bigger pad. And it has like another piece is a wedge. This one's a point. But I've really enjoyed working with this one. More so with the dentures than the hybrids. I feel like the hybrids, it's a smaller area for me. Another little trick too that I have, if you want to put some texture, you can use a sponge and just kind of tap that.
Hello.
And that'll give you some tissue texture, some
Nice. I
stippling.
love the sponge trick. We added that.
I know.
We have an article that's got all of Shauna's like tools and tips and tricks, and we added I think this is the sponge mama. Is that correct? Or scrub mama? I think that's the name of it.
Yeah, scrub mommy. Because it has two sides. So it has like the rough side and the soft spongy side. And I cut up both sides and depending on like what kind of texture that I want. But I'll keep going and if I can bring the pinks back in and actually add a little bit more color. I could use the root. I've mixed the root shade with some of the pinks just to kind of give me a little bit more of a an orangier shade because a lot of the pinks are translucent, which is nice. See if I can do this one. So this was light reddish and a little bit of the root. And this is just kind of going back over the top. And if I feel like I need to seal anything around the papilla, I can use this. And if I feel like I need to darken up anything that I've colored or put the strip over. The really cool part is a lot of the intense modifiers, when you combine them with the pink, they start to like float. It's the coolest thing. There we go. But yeah, the sponge thing is one of my favorites too. And the nice thing too about hand polishing all of this is that you don't lose that texture. So here, I'm just doing this front, but I'm going to go ahead and polish, which will be super quick and easy. Same polishing as we do with anything else. I start with the bristle brush, and if I can find it. Bead polish, bristle brush. I'm going to switch over to the felt wheel.
The speed polish is formulated to polish pretty much everything. We haven't met a surface that speed polish doesn't shine. You could probably use it on your fingernails, but it'll polish acrylics, PMMA, composite, zirconia, Emax, metal frames. It's a really awesome material, all in one polish. You can use it many different applications.
Yeah, I think
Green.
this is like, I'm using this for
Go ahead.
everything ever since you told me that it was reformulated. And I found this felt wheel and this polish just like work like magic. There we go. I'm going to switch over to the cotton puff.
The cotton fluffy.
And I don't dip this in the
Kind of
paste. I
use that
just use it.
to
Yeah,
clean
just
it up a
all
little
out.
bit. Just get your high shine. Shauna, since we're keeping things on our toes today, we're gonna have Jim jump in. Jim, if you're there, go ahead and turn your mic on. Share any experiences you've had. Like, love to know how many cases you've done and some of the tips and tricks you've had with using EasyGum. Are you with us, Jim?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can hear you great, man. How you doing?
Awesome. Great. Sasha sent it to me a while ago, and I was pretty excited to get it. I would turn my camera on, but I'm slumming it today.
Oh,
It's all right.
And I don't have hair. I don't kind of have any hair, so I never wear a hat. But I've been using it since he sent it to me. I was really excited to get it because, I've been using composites. I was the first one to get composites in the United States when GC first brought it over from Japan. And I was so excited when Sasha told me about this because it's about time that someone came up with something that was so easy that you didn't have to roll it out of a big tube, or, roll it flat, paste it on, and it really wasn't built for that. This EasyGum material is just fantastic. It's so simple to use. The bond is fantastic. I use bonder on everything. I know some people say you don't need it. I use it on everything. And I will cure the bonder in place. I have my Duo next to me. And I use composites all the time. I only do select cases now. I'm kind of semi-retired, so I'm kind of enjoying life a little bit. But I do select cases, and I want to make it easy on myself.
Love that.
The modern dental laboratory is not what it used to be. I mean, I used to be surrounded by bench lathes and noise, and I had a dream last night about pumice. I don't know, maybe because I thought I was going to take, literally, I was going to take, watch this today. And I kept going back and forth to the pumice machine. And I wasn't even pumicing dentures. I don't even know what I was having. So it really wasn't a dream. It was a nightmare. The polishing material is fantastic, but I tend to use glazes.
Okay. Absolutely. It's still viable.
And the glazes are fantastic. I use the Rodin glaze, the non-nitrogen glaze. And in my private office here in my condo, I've got two printers. I have my Frozen 4K Plus, which I absolutely love, and I've got a Soul, and all the light cure unit, and I even have the wash. This is my private office, and the wash that I use is yours because it doesn't smell. I'm not worried about it catching fire or getting blown up in my own office. So the modern dental lab is not what it used to be. I do this in my private office in the condo. So it's not like you need a big area to do this. You just use a small area to do what you're seeing today. The polishing, if you're going to polish, I mean, I even have a suction unit under my desk, which is kind of crazy. But the materials are just fantastic. But with this, it's about time someone came up with something like this. And I saw that sponge that she just had to do the stippling on. I used to use that on my wax ups, my try-ins, but now all you need to do is use that and then either polish it or put a glaze on it. I mean,
love that.
It's incredible.
Well, Jim, thanks for jumping on. Thanks
Yeah,
for sharing some insights there. Happy that you're saving time and enjoying, we'll say semi-retirement, because I'm sure you're, selective with the cases that you work with, and probably just working with the doctors that you enjoy and enjoying life. And happy that EasyGum is maybe reducing your retirement stress with your case flow even more. So thank you. Thank you for jumping on. Jim, if you have any photos, please email them over to us. Love to see them, and we'll share them in our Pink Different Facebook group. I'll show a link to that later.
I was just added as a mentor onto your page. So
awesome.
And I'm doing some courses and things like that. I'm all set up to do all that stuff. So my number was in the chat. You can give me a call and we can talk about what I'm going to do with the article.
Amazing. Thank you, Jim, so much for joining us. Appreciate your time very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, Shauna. Well, let's kind of wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch back over.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're done. I did these first two.
It's awesome.
There we go. Yeah, see, even through the polishing, which I really like, you can keep the stippling, and I like to have that texture. But yeah,
That's really, really good. I'm going to show a few more slides, and Shauna, you can come on screen. I wanted to just drop in and show everyone here some of the slides you put together for, so dark red plum, that's for sure one of your favorites. And then the dark violet, yes? Those are
Yes,
kind of
dark
two of your
violet.
go-tos. So this is the dark violet, dark red plum, apply the strip. We saw that today. Silicone tip tools, light cure, sometimes use the pink modifiers around the gingival margin. Got this carbide tool, crosshatch that you love. And so this is what we'll be covering next week in our EasyGum level 2. Again, if anyone wants to buy a trial kit, go ahead, go pick it up today. You got another 50 minutes from now before the deadline. Pick up a trial kit. We'll drop in 4 extra strips of original pink. Here are all the shades of EasyGum. Original pink, dark reddish pink, light reddish pink, and light pink. We follow the lucid tone shade system, and then we have 2 opaque strips that are higher in opacity. So they're quicker in masking out that substrate. And then we've got our pink modifier system. In these shades, the lighter pinks, these are coming in all of the shades of the strips themselves. As you saw today, Shauna used some of these modifiers on a pink printed base, which is pretty cool. We also have intense modifiers. These are great for underneath the strip, adding that characterization that shines through. And so here's our complete shade system. All of this is available in one kit. If you want to grab an EasyGum master kit, you get all the strip shades, the pink modifiers, the intense modifiers, everything you need to go really high aesthetics. The trial kit comes with 4 strips, the papilla tool, the bonding agent. This is really the go-to to get started. You definitely want to grab the bonding agent for long-term use. EasyGum strips come in 4 strips per package in all 6 of the shades. Here again is the master kit, and then speed polish, all-in-one polish, tons of small diamond particles in there. We haven't met a surface it doesn't polish. Join our YouTube channel. All of our webinars are on there, so tons of knowledge, tons of learning. We got some wonderful technicians that have joined us for some past webinars: Carson Klimek, Jamie Stegall, Kayla Nakanishi, Darren Stiff, Matt Gorbach. Just been really awesome working with many different technicians. Please take a look at our YouTube channel. If you'd like to join our Facebook group, you can scan this QR code. This will take you to the Pink Different Facebook group. We wanted to create a place where pink and pink aesthetics can be celebrated and talked about and showcased. So of course we want to see EasyGum there, but if you have some pink aesthetics with wax or any other types of substrates, we've had some people show some beautiful Mio cases in there. We think that's fantastic. It's a place for technicians to celebrate, showcase, share tips and tricks with pink aesthetics. So one more time, grab your trial kit at 4 extra strips, and we'd love to help you guys out, get started. We're just going to kind of wrap it up here. So if anyone has any questions, please ask those now. We'll small talk for another minute or 2 unless we're kind of wrapped up. And then if that's it, then that'll be it. So any questions from anyone in the Zoom or on Facebook? Do you see any questions on Facebook, Joe, that I'm
Nope.
missing?
Facebook, nothing you're missing there.
Well, the
Okay.
one thing that we didn't really talk about too is we probably need to have another one and a little bit more in depth with the dentures. There's a little prep work involved before we go in straight to the bond. We do want to do like a light sandblast and steam clean and let this dry before we apply the bond, just to make sure that we break that surface for the bond to really seep into. And then putting those 2 thin layers on before we start curing. But yeah, I would love to do one where we take a little bit more time, maybe to walk through like a series of photos of up close and seeing some of the techniques that I found that work the best.
Maybe that'll be our bonus week.
Maybe
I
that
don't know.
will.
Let's see. Well,
Yeah.
next week we'll cover sandblasting and
Mhm.
we'll cover the bonding agent and the elevated aesthetics for an implant provisional. Patient could be wearing those for 3 months, 12 months, right? I mean, you can really go long term with those. A milled PMMA implant provisional can easily last a year or longer, right? And so you want a good bond and a good solution for those pink aesthetics. So that's what we'll be covering next week. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. if there's no trailing questions, Shauna, any parting thoughts?
No, I'm excited. I'm excited about Lab Day West. I want to know who's going so we can meet up and say hello. I mean, Chicago was a
Yeah.
blast. Yeah, but I'm excited to, maybe slide some new things into the next one too.
Awesome.
Tell your friends about EasyGum Live. We're here. I would love more people in that I can interact with and engage with, more questions. We're also live on Facebook, so we're trying to give you guys as many opportunities and ways to kind of take all of this EasyGum stuff in and learn as much as you can about it. So I'll plug all of our efforts.
Amazing. Thank you, Joe, for getting us on Facebook Live. I was struggling technically of how to marry the pieces of technologies, but you solved that for us. So thank you. And I think we'll end with this. Anyone out there that wants one-on-one training, Sean and I are available. We'll book a Teams call or Zoom if you prefer to do one-on-one training. You could ask some questions and just make it more intimate. You could talk about your tools and your process. Shauna's here to help you be successful, answer any questions, and to make sure you or your team. Some labs have hooked us into their conference room and gathered a bunch of technicians together. We would love to do that. So we're here for you guys. Any training that you guys need, reach out to us. We'll book some time. All right. I think we're wrapped up.
See you guys,
everyone.
Bye,
Have
guys.
an awesome day. Bye-bye.